I'm finding this a little perplexing. Why? Why are we using more bronzer? Today we're gonna be doing another celebrity beauty routine. I'm going to be following Kendall Jenner's Beauty Secrets video from the Vogue YouTube channel. But as always, we're gonna see if we can get the look with drugstore products. Starting out with her skincare routine, which actually starts out with a DIY. So why don't I just let Kendall explain what I'm doing?
Hey guys, it's Kendall. I have this avocado mask on that I make myself in my kitchen. It's super easy. I put an avocado in a bowl and then mash it up with some oatmeal. This superfood honey, I got it from Courtney, so I'm assuming it's really good and natural. And then this organic lavender oil, I just drop a drop or two into it, and that's pretty much it.
So I went ahead and mixed up my DIY avocado mask. Now, funny story, I ate the oatmeal that I bought for this project this morning for breakfast. I completely forgot. I was like, ooh, we have oatmeal. This actually ended up just being avocado and raw organic honey. I also skipped the lavender oil. Essential oils on the face can be incredibly irritating, especially for someone who is acne prone like I am. And that was the one step in this DIY face mask that Hiram strongly disapproved of.
No, you were so close.
This isn't easy enough face mask to do every morning, but as like a normal person, not super cost effective when avocados aren't in season. But we all know Kendall Jenner is not worrying about the price of avocados. So while I let this sit on my face, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. Okay, I will say though, skin feels really good. It was pretty dry this morning. I even had like a flaky patch under my nose, and I'm feeling super hydrated and soft. 7 out of 10 would do that again. Let's move on.
I have this amazing Puregenics collagen mask. I really like to roll over.
All right, so next she's using a sheet mask and doing some face rolling. I don't use sheet masks often. I did have this one on hand, the Yes 2 Ultra Hydrating Paper Mask. So she's doing 2 face masks in the morning. You know, I'm not gonna question it because her skin looks great. So if that's what it takes to get model skin, oh my God. A sheet mask is probably the least attractive thing you could be wearing. Kendall Jenner still looks freaking gorgeous.
I really like to roll over. Get it under your eyes, especially like if I have really early work or a really early show, I throw this on. Sometimes I'll take it and like clump it into a ball and rub the extra.
So we're done with this. I'm not sure if I like this mask. My face is feeling kind of hot. But she takes what's left of the serum on the sheet mask and like rubs it in. All right.
Now I'm going to just rinse my face. I love this cleanser. It is by Christy Kidd. It's called Clean.
I find it a little interesting that we masked before cleansing. Usually I would use a mask to moisturize after cleansing and let everything sink in over time. The cleanser that I just started using daily is the Derma E Skin De-Stress CBD cleanser. I think like the main thing that I've learned from watching and recreating these celebrity beauty routines is that their skincare in the morning takes almost just as long as their makeup routine. Okay.
I wear sunscreen every day. I use this Elta MD Clear. I just use a little bit and then I sometimes mix it. Honestly, most days I mix it with this SkinCeuticals serum, 4 to 5 drops. Mix it around, get it on there.
Now, something that I want to point out, let's roll that back. Do you see how dark her vitamin C serum is, it's time to buy a new bottle, Kendall. Usually when a vitamin C serum gets that dark, that means that it has oxidized, it's been exposed to light and air too much, and the efficacy has gone down. So for my sunscreen, I'm gonna be using my Olay Complete Daily Moisturizer. This has SPF 15, and then I'll be using my Advanced Clinicals Vitamin C Serum, which also has ferulic acid. So I would think that the active ingredients are pretty close to what she's using. Okay, she used really not a lot of sunscreen, so I'm hoping we get more moisture later. Now we've got my vitamin C serum, and she said 4 to 5 drops.
I love this Mario Badescu Green Tea Cucumber Aloe Spray.
So I actually have this facial spray, and this isn't very expensive, so I'm not gonna replace this with a drugstore product in this routine. This 4-ounce size is about $7 at Ulta. Now this spray is pretty controversial in the beauty community because it's got certain ingredients that could be irritating to sensitive skin, including fragrance. But since I have it, let's use it.
I love these exfoliating makeup wipes for my lips just before I put on makeup, so I scrub my lips to get all the dead skin off.
It looks like she's using a disposable wipe to do this. I'm actually gonna use one of those reusable makeup remover exfoliating cloths.
So after I scrub with my exfoliating makeup wipe, I love this Kylie Skin lip mask.
I love lip masks because of how dry my lips get in the winter time. This one is actually brand new from AOA on shopmissa.com. It's their JelliJam lip mask. That is rich. Ooh, I like that. And it's $1, so you know.
My last step before I do my makeup is this La Mer cream.
In my normal routine, I use my SPF moisturizer just as my main moisturizer, which is why I was surprised that she didn't use a lot of it. And this is typically my nighttime moisturizer. It's the Bliss Ex-glow-sion Super Rich Moisturizer. However, it does work really nicely for daytime too because it has a radiance to it that will boost your glow. We're gonna move on to Kendall Jenner's makeup routine, so let's jump to the studio. All right, let's move on to makeup.
This is what I would do if I'm going out to dinner or doing something a little more than just running out the house really fast, but still pretty natural. So yeah, this is the foundation that I use. It's just
So Kendall's using a Chanel foundation with medium coverage and a radiant finish. I'm gonna be swapping that out for the Revlon PhotoReady Candid foundation. This has more of a natural finish, but it is medium coverage. But what I find most interesting is that Kendall's actually using sort of a looser, fluffy brush to apply her liquid foundation. So that's definitely going to add a little bit more of a sheer effect. I'm gonna be using my Practic foundation brush, which is indeed pretty soft and flexible. If I do use a brush for my foundation, I'm usually using something a little bit denser and not as flexible because it helps maintain the coverage. But this is actually looking pretty good.
So yeah, when I'm done applying with this really soft brush, I use my beauty blender.
Oh, okay. Now we're blending a little bit with a sponge, and having no product on the sponge is going to help pick up any excess to get that pretty natural and light look that she's going for. In my case, it's going to sheer it out a little bit beyond my comfort zone just for the state of my skin right now. Moving on to concealer.
I usually go for this guy and this guy. I'm so not a professional. You'll see all the differences between me and Kylie. Kylie's a legit professional, and I'm you know what, this works.
I'm just gonna use my trusty e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the hydrating formula. I think it's funny that she's saying, you know, there's such a difference between her and Kylie and that she's not a professional, she just does what works. But I mean, why not just stick to what works? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And so Kylie and I are very different because she is full beat, but I respect it. She takes a lot longer, but you know what, she looks fire. So bronzer time. So I usually start with a creamy bronzer, and I love obviously my Kendall by Kylie Cosmetics. I just like to be able to apply it
So for cream contour, I'm gonna go in with my favorite cream bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Sculpting Bronzer from their organic wear line. And Kendall brought that in the hollows of her cheeks, as well as on her forehead. And then just started sort of blending that out. I'm using the Real Techniques sculpting brush for this. And she brings it down onto the chin and neck. I'm so bad at nose contouring. I don't know if it's like the shape of my nose, but I just can never get it right. I just have this like ridge on my nose, and contouring sort of brings attention to it.
Sometimes I'll take the small side after I contour my nose a little bit and I'll go in over my...
Ooh, okay. I'm just gonna use the same brush that I used to contour with. I still have product on it. And she's just sort of darkening up the lids. It's just a really easy way to add a little bit of definition to the eyes.
I'm gonna go in with my blush. I love creams first because like I said, I love like a dewy look. So I just think using like creams makes everything even dewier.
So she's using a cream blush from Kylie. I'm gonna use another Physicians Formula product. This is their Natural Defense Multicolor Stick in the shade Natural Rose. I know it looks strong when you first put it on, but it shears out to look really nice and natural.
And then I'm gonna go in with this really dewy Marc Jacobs creamy highlighter. I'm going with my finger.
For my dewy highlighting stick from the drugstore, I'll be using the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Cooling Glow Stick in the shade So Guilty. And she just took her finger and sort of tapped it over her cheeks. And she brings it down onto her nose, which has kind of helped the contour situation on my face. And she also kind of taps it underneath her brow bone as well, and a little bit into the temple. Really going for that glow. I think that looks really good.
Now that I've kind of done all my dewiness, I go in with a little bit of powder. I like this MAC pressed powder. Literally all I do is I go in right here under my eyes, around my nose, chin, and forehead. And I just leave it at that. Like I like to be dewy, like I said, so I really just kind of work around the places that I just put that shine.
So she's only powdering under her eyes and in her T-zone because she wants to keep the rest of the face looking dewy. I'm using the Essence All About Matte Fixing Powder. It's one of the only pressed powders I really use. That's something that I do as well sometimes, is just powdering the T-zone, which tends to get oilier than the rest of my face, and letting the rest sort of stay natural and glowy.
I love this Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess powder. So I go in over top of everything that I just did, just to add even more.
So we are topping the cream bronzer that we used with a powder bronzer. Bronze Goddess does have a little bit of shimmer to it. So I'm gonna go in with this L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It Sun-Kissed powder. Definitely making it a little bit warmer.
I am now moving on to a powder blush. And I really love this little Stormy collection from Kylie Cosmetics.
So I'm finding it a little bit interesting because earlier in the video, she said she wanted to use cream products on her face because she wanted a dewy look. We specifically did not powder our face on the cheeks because we wanted to retain the dewiness. But now we're covering all that cream with powder, which is going to slightly mattify any dewiness or radiance. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. And this specific blush from Kylie is a matte powder. So I'm going in with the Essence The Blush. This is in the shade Befitting. Always kind of perplexing to see the steps in these celebrity makeup routines. I'm just kind of wondering, like, is this the real routine, or were they trying to like throw in a bunch of stuff to make it seem interesting on video? Do they know what steps are doing to their makeup routine or what purpose they serve?
Brush my brows out now. I don't do too much to my brows, to be honest.
Ugh, she has like the perfect brows. I'm gonna need to fill mine in and not just brush through them. I'll be using the Brow Stylist Definer from L'Oreal. So far, I think we're doing a pretty good job at replicating this look at the drugstore level. However, similarly to the Jessica Alba Beauty Secrets routine that we recreated, I do feel like there are some steps that are repetitive. We had 2 face masks in the beginning. We put cream blush and bronzer bronzer on for the dewiness, but now we're covering that up with powder. And layering creams with powder isn't, you know, something that's not done. It's actually done a lot to make the powder last longer or make it look a little bit stronger, but that's not a way to retain the dewiness like she was talking about. So I'm finding this a little perplexing.
Back to the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess powder and just put a little of that on my eyes. Sometimes this Bronze Goddess powder isn't dark enough for my eyelids, so I use this Serge Luton bronze powder for my eyes.
So she's using 2 bronzers as an eyeshadow, just totally layered on top of each other. So going back in with the L'Oreal Lumi Bronze It. I think this will be enough. I don't think I'll have to go into a second bronzer. Let's just go ahead and throw this on the lid. She said she put it all over and then sort of blended it out in circular motions. Even though we're kind of up to a lot of steps in this routine, the steps aren't super hard. Like, anybody can blend bronzer, 1 shade of bronzer all over the lid. So far, nothing too intense. Oh, she's bringing some on the lower lash line as well.
Kevin Aquan brown eye pencil. So it's gonna look a little bit of a mess right now, and then we'll see how magical it gets. Just to make this slightly darker.
I'm going to be using one of my favorite pencil liners. This is the Essence Extreme Lasting Waterproof Eye Pencil, and this is in the shade But First Espresso. So she just put it really on this little outer corner portion on both sides. And she didn't take it too far out. She just started to blend and smoke that out. We're not pulling it out too far. We're not creating like a big wing moment or anything. Just sort of smoking out the edges and shearing it up a bit. You know, I never thought to do this with brown liner just to make it look a little bit more subtle than a black smoky liner, but I'm liking the effect. And it kind of just adds a little bit of a lift to the eyes as well. I think this is the perfect drugstore pencil to do this with because it's really creamy and easy to blend out when it's soft, but once it's set, it won't move, it won't smear, it won't smudge. So you'll stay looking just the right amount of smoky without it getting messy throughout the day.
Now I'm going to curl my lashes, which is never cute. I'll go in with my Armani mascara.
I'm gonna use the Believe Beauty Voluminize Mascara.
One of the best parts is my lip. This is the Kevin Aquan medium and then the Giorgio Armani.
She took 2 similar lip liners, just one is slightly lighter than the other, and created a gradient lip with those 2. So for my darker shade, which is gonna go on the outline of my lips, I'm using the Kokie Retractable Lip Liner in Natural. And she did say that she overdraws her lips slightly. The big thing now is to sort of soften up your Cupid's bow so it's not like a sharp dip. That's out. Now it's kind of that soft curve. Then she uses a lighter lip liner to blend out that outline and fill in the rest of the lips. This is the BH Cosmetics Waterproof Lip Liner in Stripped. It's one of my favorite neutral sort of blushy lip liners. So I'm gonna use that to sort of blend out the edge on the inside and fill in the lip. Ooh, I think I nailed this color combo. At least I hope that's what it looks like on camera, because in person it definitely looks super close.
My Kendall, it's called a lip blush. It's really nice. And I honestly just do like a little dab right in the middle to just even out.
I don't know what the lip blush is, like what that texture is. Maybe just like a light liquid lipstick. So for this lip blush step, I think I'm gonna use the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. And she just dabbed it a little bit in the center, kind of mushed her lips together.
And then I go over top of it with another Kendall Kylie product. It's so thick and good and it lasts all night.
So I don't have any thick lip glosses that aren't also extremely pigmented, and it looks like the one she's using is rather sheer. So what I'm gonna go in with is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Tinted Lip Oil. This is in the shade Bad Apple, and it looks pretty similar in color and tint to what she's using. So that'll just go all over. Definitely adding a tiny bit of color.
And then I'll usually like go in last minute because I just am a bronze obsessed. Throw a little bit more on.
Why? Why are we using more bronzer? What purpose? I feel like I'm already pretty bronzed, girl. Okay. I mean, I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't know if she just felt like she didn't have enough on to begin with, or I really don't feel like I need it though. I mean, my cheeks are looking pretty strong in this look, right? I do feel like we're a little bit past the natural bronze look now that we're adding more.
My KKW Beauty Bronze and Shine palette. But I use this guy even on top of, like I usually go in with the creamy, you know, bronze, blush, shine, and then at the end I go in with the powder shine, powder bronze, powder blush.
So now we have officially covered all of the dewy creaminess that she said she was striving for with powder products. I'll be using my Honest Beauty Midnight Reflection Luminizing Glow Powder for this. This is a really nice, just natural looking glow. It doesn't have like a ton of shimmer in it or anything. I mean, it's definitely gonna amp up our highlight, but again, we're not really dewy at this point. I mean, I'm not really a dewy kind of girl anyway. I'm just going off of what she said she was striving to achieve and what our result is.
All right, guys, so this is my final look. Thank you so much for watching my amateur makeup tutorial.
Well, I guess that's it. Give me a second to do something with my hair. Okay, here I am side by side with Kendall after she's done her version of this routine and after my drugstore version. I think we definitely got the same vibe with obviously way cheaper products. She was using Chanel, she was using Armani. We were using $2 Essence pencils. And I think we ended up with very similar bronzy looks. Now with that said, I still think this routine was more steps than it needed to be, but that just goes to show that even the celebrities who are known for their more natural beauty, which I think Kendall would be, still put a ton of time and a ton of product into their no makeup looks. None of us #wake up like this. What do you think of Kendall Jenner's beauty routine and how do you think I did on the drugstore version? Let me know in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Chrissy. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next where I test 2 silicone infused makeup sponges. One's $20, one's $1. Which one works better? I'll see you over there. Bye.